After looking at the demon kings of the isekai world and the demon hunters from the mainstream shonen anime, it becomes clear that the world of anime is obsessed with devils. This obsession is probably why we have so many awesome battles against these evil monsters. And in this video, I'm going to show you guys 10 of these insane fights to feed the devil simp hiding inside you. We're starting things off with a bloody battle between Hijikata and Toyohisa from Drifters. Now, even though Drifters was extremely popular, it still doesn't get the respect it deserves. I mean, the show gave us so many iconic action sequences, and the fight between demonic Hijikata and the savior of humanity, Toyohisa, might just be the peak of this spectacular anime. The fight takes place around the end of the show, when Hijikata steps in to crush the Drifters' army. His ability to create a phantom force makes him a terrifying monster, but Toyohisa is a madman. He not only tries to take on Hijikata all by himself, but even goes to extreme lengths to defeat this bakemono. Eventually, his show of extreme courage forces the demon to retreat, which allows the Drifters to claim their first major victory against the Dark King. Moving on to number 9, we have the beautifully animated battle between Issei and Sairaorg, which takes place in High School DxD Hero. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this latest show from the classic High School DxD franchise doesn't have the most interesting storyline or the best characters, but what it lacks in writing, it pretty much easily makes up with in gorgeous fight scenes. And you only have to look at the fight between Issei and Sairaorg to know what I mean. In this battle, our protagonist Issei is trying to take another step towards becoming the harem king. Meanwhile, his opponent Sairaorg is trying to stamp his authority as the heir to the greatest clan of the demon kind. What makes this battle really special is the fact that these characters are using some sort of mechs in this fight, and if you ask me, they're giving mecha shows a run for their money here. At number 8, we have the battle between Maou and Sariel. This fight takes place in the first season of The Devil is a Part-Timer, and it's the only fight on this list where we're actually rooting for the devil to win. The reason behind this bias is simple. Even though Sariel is an angel, he's way too evil and can't be allowed to wreak havoc in both worlds. He is also very strong and manages to take down Emilia with ease. However, he drastically underestimates the power of the Demon Lord and ends up in a situation where Maou is unleashing all his demonic wrath at him with no mercy in sight. Coming up at number 7, we have the battle that broke many hearts. I'm talking about the ultra-emotional showdown between Esconar and the Demon King. Fans of the 7 Deadly Sins will know what Esconar does in this fight cannot be replicated. To defeat the mighty Demon King and save his comrades, this fan-favorite character goes all out. Using his own life force, he brings out this crazy ability known as the One Ultimate. This ability is extremely destructive for his body, and yet he doesn't even flinch before giving everything he has to win a seemingly impossible battle. Luckily, his efforts aren't in vain, and they really do beat the Demon King. But as every fan would agree, losing such a lovable character doesn't feel like a win at all. Next up, we have the battle that pretty much defined Black Clover as a shonen classic. Yeah, you got it. I'm talking about the insane fight between the devil Dante and the tag team of Yami and Asta. This epic fight, which lasts multiple episodes, showed us just how much potential Black Clover has as an anime, and why we should never count out a battle shonen. There's drama, high-intensity action, and amazing voice acting here, which made this fight so damn special. It also gives us one of the most iconic moments in anime as Asta grabs his teacher's sword to deal a crushing blow to a seemingly invincible villain. Ah, what a great fight! At number 5, we have the absolutely bonkers fight between Mori and Jagel. This final battle from the god of high school doesn't really need an introduction. After all, it pretty much broke the internet thanks to its insane choreography and breathtaking animation. This fight for complete and utter dominance between the divine Jagel and our protagonist Mori showed us what Mappa was capable of, and for me, it still is one of the best fights in their stacked portfolio. Over the years, I've heard more and more complaints about how the god of high school doesn't have the best writing. But let me ask you one thing. When the fight looks this good, does it even matter if we have shit writing? Because I could care less about the dialogue when I'm having so much fun watching every single episode. At number 4, we have the second showdown between Denji and the vicious Katana Man. Now in their first fight, Katana Man made a thumping statement by taking out Denji, Arki, and Himino at the same friggin' time. Watching him stomp these devil hunters with so much ease, you might wonder why Denji would ever want to challenge him again. Well, you see, our protagonist Denji is simply unhinged, and this craziness is exactly what makes him stand up to Katana Man in their second battle. This time around, he's ready for every surprise, and no matter how many times he gets thrown around, he just won't stay down. Denji's resilience is only matched by the pitch-perfect animation from Mappa, which makes this fight a great way to wrap up the mesmerizing spectacle that is Chainsaw Man. Next up, we have the most hype moment in Jujutsu Kaisen. No, I'm not talking about Gojo's eyes, you freaks. I'm talking about the moment Itadori and Nobara team up to take down the Cursed Brothers at the end of the season. The fight begins when the friends realize that they're way out of their depth in this situation and their enemies are too strong for a bunch of first years. However, this precarious situation allows Nobara to truly shine for the first time in the show. The way she supports Itadori in this battle is not only admirable, but pretty damn cool. I mean, just look at this scene. Oh, god damn, that's hot. I'm so glad that Mappa didn't cheap out here and allowed their creators to give this fight the animation it truly deserves. At the runner spot, we have the fight between Xuan and Raph, which takes place in the Chinese anime Fog Hill of 5 Elements. Now, I'm sure some of you have heard of this anime thanks to all the praise it received on Twitter and Reddit for its animation, and the animation is on full display in this fight, which lasts long enough to knock you out for a while. It starts when Xuan takes on the Peacock Devil, which has been terrorizing the villagers. During their fight, the Peacock Devil evolves into its ultimate form, which is known as Raph, and the fight goes into hyperdrive. From what was essentially a beautifully choreographed hand-to-hand combat scene, we get a showdown where both of these characters are throwing massive amounts of energy at each other. There are some absolutely jaw-dropping moments here, including the one where Xuan finally takes down Raph with an insane combination. I still don't understand how people choose to sleep on this anime. I mean, it sure isn't a masterpiece like Chainsaw Man, but it still easily beats most action shows that are coming out this winter, which is mind-boggling since it was made by a team of only 6 people. Now, before we talk about the best fight on our list, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any more content like this. Once again, when it comes to legendary fights, the top spot is taken by the absolute war between the Demon Slayers and Gyutaro. I mean, come on, no matter how great those previous battles were, they simply pale in comparison to what Ufotable has produced here. This epic battle takes place in the second half of Demon Slayer Season 2, and for about 6 episodes, it doesn't take its foot off the gas. We've all heard a million times about how great the animation is here, but that's not why it's here at the top. It's the intoxicating combination of animation, soundtrack, and dialogue which creates so much hype and tension that you can't take your eyes off the screen even for a second. And what's even better is the fitting manner in which this fight finally concludes. I'm sure we'll witness many great fights in 2023, but I have a feeling that it will be very hard to top this masterpiece from Studio Ufotable. And that wraps up today's video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.